Welcome back to Rich Audio. We have Ivan back again. Today we're doing podcast with AI.
Okay, let's see what happens next.
Well, do you know what is podcast with AI, Ivan?
I'm expecting like maybe another person talking to me, but it's AI.
Yes, you will be taking the IELTS speaking test with the AI.
So he's like an examiner.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
Let's go. Okay, let's see. Okay,
How many questions are there?
You took the test, you know.
Okay.
Can you act as the IELTS examiner for Ivan?
Wait, what? For Ivan? Did you just drop a mystery on me? What are you up to now?
Act as an IELTS examiner for Ivan.
All right, Ivan, let's dive into it. I'll play the role of an IELTS examiner. Let's start with the speaking test. So here's your question. Can you describe a place you've visited recently that left a strong impression on you? Take your time.
Start.
Yes!
Okay.
Let's start over.
Well,
Let's start over. Act as an IELTS examiner and do a IELTS mock exam for Ivan.
All right, Ivan, let's do a full IELTS speaking mock test. I'll play the part of the examiner. Let's begin. Part 1, Introduction and Interview. Can you tell me your full name? And do you work or study? Take your time answering, and when you're ready, we'll move to the next part.
my name is Zhang Yifan, and my English name is Ivan. I am a current student studying in the University of Taipei. My major is English instructions.
Thank you, Ivan. Let's move to the next question. Why did you choose to study English instructions at the University of Taipei? Take your time and give me as much detail as you'd like.
First of all, the University of Taipei is known for its training for future teachers. And I would think that becoming a teacher is one of my future goals as I grow up. And English is always one of my favorite subjects as a student. So I realize that when I get a chance to pick what I want to study and the place I want to study, I wanted to come to the University of Taipei to get trained to become a good English teacher for the future.
That's a clear and well-organized answer, Ivan. You explained your reasoning well and stayed relevant to the question. Let's move on to part 2, long turn. Here's your task. Describe a teacher who has influenced you in your education. You should say who the teacher is, what subject they taught, how they influenced you. You have 1 minute to prepare your answer. When you're ready, you can speak for up to 2 minutes. Let me know when you're ready to begin.
So when I was 10 years old, I met this teacher named Adrian. She is an African American who came to Taiwan to be an English teacher, and she really influenced me because of the way she teaches us. Not only does she teach English as a subject, she also uses the language to teach multiple subjects, courses such as social studies, a bit of economics, reading, writing lessons, and also like science experimental courses. And throughout the 3-4 years, she has been a very helpful teacher to me, not only helping me get good grades on exams, but also trained my confidence, also given me the idea that I wanted to be a teacher like her when I grow up. So she is really the person who took me this far. And right now I'm still chasing my dreams all because of her. I really appreciate what she have taught me, not just as a teacher, but also a mentor to life.
Thank you, Ivan. That was a detailed and heartfelt response. You structured your answer well and used a good range of vocabulary and grammar. Your personal connection to the topic made it engaging. Let's move to part 3, discussion. Why do you think some teachers have a lasting impact on their students? Take your time.
Well, I believe that the most important reason is that the teacher is not just being a teacher who does their job, but really passing up his or her experience to the next generation. When it comes to teaching, a lot of people think it's just a job you do in class, and after class there's nothing else they can do with it. But I disagree. I think being a teacher is for a lifetime, and when you look back and see what kind of influence you bring to the next generation, to the children, and hopefully you get to see them grow up someday and become the next person who influences the next generation, the sense of achievement couldn't be charged by price.
That's a thoughtful answer, Ivan, and you expressed yourself passionately. Your ideas were clear, and you used a good mix of complex and simple sentences. Your view on the lifelong impact of teachers is inspiring and well articulated. For feedback, your fluency is great, but watch out for small grammar points like passing up his or her experience. It could just be passing on. Overall, fantastic job. How do you feel about your performance? Anything specific you'd like to work on?
Can you grade Ivan?
Of course, here's a breakdown of Ivan's performance using the IELTS speaking band descriptors. Fluency and coherence, band 7. You spoke fluently with only minor pauses for thought. Ideas were well organized, and your responses had clear progression. Occasionally, ideas could be developed slightly further. Lexical resource, band 7. Your vocabulary was varied and relevant, with phrases like sense of achievement and influence the next generation showing range. A few moments could use more precise phrasing, such as passing up instead of passing on. Grammatical range and accuracy, band 6.57. You used a good range of structures, including complex sentences, but there were minor grammar slips, like she really influenced me because of the way she teaches us, should be taught us. These errors didn't affect understanding, but were noticeable. Pronunciation, band 7.5. Your pronunciation was clear, natural, and easy to understand. There were no significant mispronunciations, and your rhythm and intonation were engaging. Overall, 7. This is a solid performance. With a bit more precision in grammar and slightly deeper elaboration in some areas, you could push this to a band 7.5 or higher. How do you feel about that score, Ivan?
Thank you.
Anything you'd like to focus on next?
Thank you.
You're welcome, Ivan. You did great. Seriously impressive. If you ever want to practice more or tackle another mock exam, I'm here. What's next on your list to conquer?
Okay, that's all for the AI?
There's one thing I just noticed.
Uh-huh.
The way she gives me like her feedback is
Yeah.
exactly how Corey talks.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's good.
like overall,
That's really
great.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
overall great job. but
I think
but
that's probably
not so emotional
what they do, as
as
an
you mean,
IELTS examiner.
as an IELTS
But
exam.
you have improved. I
No, nothing. No.
I remember you scored 0.5 at the Corey's mock exam.
The last one I did like 7, and this one was like 7 reaching 7.5.
Great. Yeah. Okay, the next part is we'll have you grade Tony's work.
So I didn't know his scores, and he obviously have different questions the examiner asked, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, now it's your turn to grade him, and we're back. Welcome back to Rich Audio. We have Tony back again, and we are doing podcasts with AI because the AI is back online.
Hello, this is Tony on the air again.
So, Tony, can you reintroduce yourself again?
Sure, my name is Tony Chen, and 我的中文名字是陈鸿儒. Yeah, you can call me whatever you want.
Why don't you tell us about your experience with Corey's class?
Okay, in Corey's class, we learned about how to take Cambridge exam. Yeah, it's a international certification test for your English ability. Yeah, I think it's useful.
Today we are doing IELTS mock exam and podcast with AI, so we are using AI as the examiner. And Tony will take the test.
Yeah, I haven't done any IELTS tests before.
That's fine, but because Corey's class will train you to do what you need to do. Let's start by talking to the AI. Can you act as an IELTS speaking examiner for my friend Tony here?
Of course. Let's begin the mock IELTS speaking test for Tony. Good morning. My name is Mia, and I'll be your examiner today for the IELTS speaking test. Can you please tell me your full name?
My name is Tony Chen.
Examiner. Nice to meet you, Tony. Can I see your identification, please?
Sure.
Thank you, Tony. Now, in the first part of the test, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's start with where you live. Can you tell me about the area you live in?
I live in Taoyuan City, and I'm from Taiwan.
That sounds interesting, Tony. What do you like most about living in Taoyuan City?
I like the convenience store in Taiwan because we can buy anything we want for our daily life, and we can even print out documents from in convenience store.
That's great. Convenience stores in Taiwan do sound very handy. Are there any other facilities in your city that you use often?
Can you ask again?
Of course. Are there any other facilities in your city that you use often?
Oh, other facilities like maybe night market or
For example, parks, libraries, gyms, or shopping malls. Are there any that you visit regularly?
okay, in Taoyuan City uh there is a big shopping mall. It's a big area for shopping, and you can find many clothes or shoes to buy. its name is 华泰名品城.
That sounds like a great place to spend time. Do you usually go there alone, or do you prefer to go with friends or family?
Not usually, cause I only go shopping when I really need to buy something, and also the place is a little bit far away from my house. It take half an hour to drive to there.
I see. That makes sense. Now let's talk about free time. What do you usually do when you have free time?
I usually play volleyball with my friends when the weather is good, and in and as for indoor activities,
That's a fun activity.
Yeah.
How often do you play volleyball with your friends?
I played volleyball with my friends 3 times a week at least.
That's quite frequent. What do you enjoy most about playing volleyball?
I think volleyball is a sport that require cooperation. And when we cooperate together and make a good shot, and we will feel happy. We will all feel happy.
That's a wonderful way to build teamwork and have fun. Have you ever participated in a volleyball competition?
Yeah, in our school there are a competition called Friend Cup, but we didn't get any prize.
That's still a great experience, Tony.
Yeah.
What did you learn from participating in the competition?
In the competition, we played with many great players, and I think they all practiced very hard, and so they're and they unite, they cooperate better than our team. So I think so I, I think it's a great experience to play with them.
That's a
And
good observation, Tony. It sounds like you learned a lot from the experience. Do you think teamwork is more important than individual skill in volleyball?
can you say your questions again? Can you ask again?
Do you think teamwork is more important than individual skill in volleyball?
Yeah, sure. Teamwork is much more important than individual skills in volleyball, because in each team there will be 6 people on the court, and each person has their own work to do on the court. Some people need to catch the ball, and and the other person should toss the ball, and the last person should attack.
That's a great explanation, Tony. You clearly understand the importance of teamwork in volleyball. Now let's move to the next part of the test. I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to speak about it for 1 to 2 minutes. You'll have 1 minute to prepare. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Great. Your topic is describe a sport you enjoy watching or playing. You should say what the sport is, how you first became interested in it, why you enjoy it. You have 1 minute to prepare. Let me know when you're ready to begin.
Can you repeat your questions again? Oh. Can you repeat your questions again?
Of course. Describe a sport you enjoy watching or playing. You should include what the sport is, how you first became interested in it, why you enjoy it. Take your time to prepare and let me know when you're ready to start speaking.
直接开始。哦，好，想一下好了。嗯。Okay, I'm ready to talk now.
Perfect. Please go ahead. You have 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay. Although my favorite sport is volleyball, but now I
Take your
want to.
time, Tony. Start whenever you're ready.
Okay, the sport I want to talk about is basketball. The first time I played basketball is when I was in elementary school, third grade, and uh, it was it was my cousin.
Examiner. That's a good start, Tony. Keep going. Tell me more about why you enjoy basketball.
I enjoy basketball because I think it's an exciting sport. There people compete on the court to
You're doing great, Tony. Keep going. What makes it exciting for you?
because people compete on the court to make the shot. Some people will choose to dunk, or some people will shoot as 3-pointers, and the scores are often very close. So I think it's very exciting.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
When because okay when people make dunks, it will make me feel excited. Or some people will shoot as 3-pointers. I think it's very very cool.
That's fantastic, Tony. Basketball really does have those thrilling moments. Do you prefer watching games or playing basketball yourself?
Yes, I do. I enjoy playing basketball sometimes with my friends, or sometimes I will practice on my own. And if the weather is bad, I will stay at home and watch basketball game like NBA.
That's a great mix of activities, Tony. It sounds like basketball is a big part of your life. Thank you for sharing. Let's move to the final part of the test now. Are you ready?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. Let's talk about sports in general. Do you think sports are important for people of all ages? Why or why not?
Yes, I do. I think sport is important for all ages because because doing sport can make us be healthy. So, and health is everything for people from all ages.
That's a great point, Tony. Staying healthy is important for everyone. Do you think schools should focus more on teaching sports, or should they prioritize academic subjects? Why?
I think schools should take sports as a more important subject because children likes to do some outdoor activities and play sports. I think school should make the lesson more close to students' interest.
Examiner. That's an interesting perspective, Tony. Encouraging sports can definitely make learning more enjoyable for students. What do you think parents can do to encourage their children to be more active?
I think parents can bring their children to do some outdoor activities more often, or like bring them to the park and play ball with them. Yeah.
That's a great suggestion, Tony. Spending time outdoors as a family can be very motivating for children. Thank you for your answers today. That concludes the speaking test. You did very well. How do you feel about it?
I think sometimes I will pause. Not a perfect conversation.
That's okay,
but
Tony. Pausing is natural, especially when you're organizing your thoughts. It shows you're taking the time to answer carefully. With more practice, those pauses will get shorter. How did you feel about the questions themselves?
Examiner, can you tell us how Tony do on the IELTS speaking test?
Sure. Here's some feedback based on Tony's performance. Tony, you did really well in terms of fluency and providing detailed answers. You communicated your ideas clearly and used some good vocabulary like cooperate and exciting. However, there were a few moments where you paused or repeated words, which affected your fluency slightly. For pronunciation, most of your speech was clear, but try to work on speaking at a steady pace and enunciating certain words more fully. Grammar was good overall, though there were a few small errors, like there is a competition called Friend Cup instead of there is a competition called the Friend Cup. I'd give you a band score of 6 to 6.5 for this mock test. With a little more practice, especially on fluency and reducing hesitations, you could definitely aim higher. What do you think of this feedback?
Thank you, AI.
You're very welcome, Tony. Keep practicing and you'll do even better. I believe in you. What part of the test would you like to work on more?
Congratulations, Tony. That's a very good score. Personally, I scored 8 on the IELTS test, the actual IELTS test. The ones Corey gave me, I got 7.5s. And Ivan got a 6.5. One time, only one time. Okay. Yes. Ivan, you have to get your ass ready for this. Tony's going to beat you.
I think it's a good try. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's my first time to take the IELTS test,
yeah.
IELTS speaking test.
Yeah.
But I think the only disadvantage is in part 2. Part 2, it's giving me 2 minutes to give a speech.
So it pauses.
Yeah, but
it recognizes your pauses as you finish talking, but you have to keep talking.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's an instant speech. Mm-hmm. So I will certainly pause.
I understand. Yes. Yeah. Overall, I think you did great. Yeah. So, well, good for you, Tony. Good for you. Yes. And this is the part of Tony's IELTS speaking test podcast with AI. We'll see you on Ivan's test. And we are back. Ivan, did you finish grading Tony?
Yeah, so I just finished listening to Tony's IELTS exam with AI, and I took some notes. Perhaps we should share some
Here we
of
go.
our
Tony,
opinions.
shout out to Tony. Ivan said he's gonna roast you.
That's not true.
That's not true? Okay, let's
That's
see.
not true. Yeah,
So,
but
do
alright.
you want me to say the AI's grades?
No,
You wanna go first?
What's interesting would be me grading him first.
Yep.
And then let's see what AI says.
Okay,
So
you go.
Perhaps we can find some, something in general, or maybe AI has some different opinions from me.
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
go.
I think overall he did answer all the questions. So let's start with to make it easy for me. I must start with pronunciation. Most of the words he pronounced correctly, but there are some words that he mispronounced. I would say high 5, low 6. Let's say 5.5.
Okay, 5.5 for
Yeah.
pronunciation.
Okay, and then fluency and coherence. You can actually tell that he's thinking about some of his language use, picks of words, and sometimes it's not so fluent. I would say it's a 5.
Yep.
Yeah, so it usually maintains flow of speech, but uses repetition, self-correction,
Yes.
or slow speech to keep going. Yeah, that's why I give the score. Next is lexical resource. He uses most of the words correctly, but some of the words are, let's just say, it's too easy.
Indeed.
Yeah, for example, he uses words like feel happy, or when I have free time.
Well, it's by no means wrong.
It's not wrong, but in order to get a better grade, I think he can work on the lexical use of words.
Yes.
All right, but I would say it's a low 6, high 5.
Yep.
I would say it's closer to 6. Last but not least, grammatical range and accuracy. He did misuse a lot of grammar because he was trying to switch from present tense to past tense, talking about his past experiences in playing volleyball, doing sports, or also going shopping in places. So I would say it's a 5. And with that, I have like 5, 6, 5, 5.5. I would say it's a 5.5.
Okay, yep. So I'm going to tell you. The AI originally gave him a 6 to 6.5 originally.
Okay.
But I think it didn't use the rubric. So I feed the rubric
Oh, you did feed the rubric
to the AI again. Yeah. Fluency and coherence, band 6. Lexical resources, band 5. Grammatical range and accuracy, band 5. Pronunciation, band 6. Overall band score, 5.5.
Yeah,
so exactly the same as yours.
Yeah, but like the details, some of them are kind of off.
Do you think overall this practice with the AI, practicing the IELTS test, is useful?
Well, I think
Actually, I think we should converse in Chinese here for the purpose of everyone can understand this and practice.
OK，那我们这一段就用中文来讲。
来，
我先讲几个我认为的点好了。如果是我认为啊，如果是由真人考官下去考的话，当然真人考官可以依照，因为人类是有感情的动物，所以两个有感情的生物在对谈的时候，他比较可以拿捏我什么时候应该很主观，
什么时候应该要去打断
打断你，或者是主观一点，或者是你讲到一个比较感性的地方，然后顺着那个下去问，可能延续到下一个问题，或者是接下来的对话。那这个东西，我觉得 AI 它可以做到很理性的。所以今天假设我们是在它的考题是出一个就是这件事情跟个人的经验或者是情感比较没有关系的，那我觉得它可以做得更好。 因为他就可以直接问你说，例如他可以问你说，你认为某个东西是好的还是不好的，然后你给的理由
直接的
对都是很客观的，
是
那他就可以根据你客观的答案去往下继续跟你互动很客观的事情。但是如果他今天问你的问题是talk about 假设可能谈论一个对你来说生命中很重要的人，那他可能就比较没办法给到你一个情绪上的就是继续对，然后给到你下一个问题，他可能就还会问你非常理性的那我觉得这个东西跟实际的互动较有落差。
那 overall 整体来说，你觉得就是如果你想要考 IELTS，然后不管是 IELTS 任何的英检考试都一样，你是不是可以用 AI 去练习你的口说？因为也不是大家都有就是人可以帮你练习，帮你做一个考官。
我觉得吧 ，AI 真的很方便，是因为现在他们已经强到你给他一些资料，他是可以学习。然后当然可能每个人下指令的方式会不太一样，但像我们刚刚下指令的方式，就是让他模拟某一种考试的考官，然后照着这个考试的流程下去跑一次。我觉得对很多有网路，然后可能现在坊间很多的补习班专门在考语言检定考试，其实费用挺高的。那不是每一个人都可以负担得起，尤其现在很多考试的人都是高中或大学生，为了在自己的文凭或者是未来求职，就是可以再加一点分数。那考雅思，我记得现在已经是一次要7500了吧？对，那你如果又花钱去补了就是去补习什么的，其实对很多的大学生来讲，就是一笔经济负担压力。
对啊，像是我们有一个学长啊，他那个考了几次啊
？60-70次吧。
60-70次的，他是考什么？
英检。
哪一个？
那个英检中高级 GPT 啊。
他是考 GPT？
对啊。
那我们还是
我们下次邀请他好了。
OK 啊，OK 没问题。
邀请他看他怎么读英文。
没问题，没问题。当然 AI 它还是有它的局限性啦，但是我觉得如果只是作为练习的用途的话，你可以算相对足够准确的知道你大概的程度在哪里，然后就可以继续去练习，然后就可以去达到你想要达到的目标。
那像我觉得很多人不知道的是，其实像雅思考试，它的口说评分，因为很多人会觉得说，好像口说这种事情很主观，就是搞不好只是考官那个喜不喜欢你啊之类的，但其实并不是这么一回事，它是有一个评分的标准在的，所以我们有一些像 rubric 就是它的参照评分的标准，然后他会告诉你说你做到什么样的程度是哪几分。你在考试的时候，我记得也是会录音，所以其实后面的老师在评分的时候，并不会看到你的脸，不存在对，基本上不存在那种什么看你不顺眼或者是什么怎么觉得你怎么样，所以故意给你低分，这种事情基本上不会存在了。对啊，我觉得如果可以下正确的指令给 AI， 让它变成模拟一个考官来帮你做练习，然后我记得 AI 也可以什么输出你讲的话，
对，
那你又可以
留记录，你可以回去看。
对，你又可以留记录，然后回去看说啊，对耶，你这个地方真的可以讲得更好，或者是我下一次练习的时候，我可以怎么样让它更顺？我觉得对学生来讲超方便的反正我相信现在80%-90%的学生应该都是日常生活中接触得到网络。
当然，如果还有想要看其他的英检考试的用 AI 做英检的模拟考试，欢迎在下方留言。我们现在的 Rich Audio Podcast 在 YouTube、Spotify、Apple Podcast 全部都有了，也可以追踪我们的 Instagram， 都在下方这个叫什么资讯栏。Ivan 讲英文呢，刚才那一串。
All right, so if you like our content, please subscribe to Rich Audio. You can find our podcast on Spotify, on Instagram, and what else?
YouTube.
And also on YouTube and Apple Podcast. And if you are interested in what we're working on, feel free to follow our Instagram. You can find all these links in the bottom of
in the description below.
In the description below. All right.
Okay, that's it for today's podcast with AI.
See you next time.
See you next time.
太晚按了。还有谁？
按那个红色的。
All right.
哦，现在换我听不到这个 track 呢，你要按那个绿色的。
听得到吗？听得到吗？听得到吗？这是什么？
是这个啊，
哪一个啦？
它是 virtual 的。好了，不要开场了，直接来了。Welcome back 。
我们可以把这个前面也剪进去吗
Welcome back to Rich Audio. We have Ivan back. 这样文彦，你有什么意见？
这段也会剪进去了。
好，来。
OK， 我先，因为其实补习就是，如果今天你是为了这种检定去补习，它的费用其实还蛮高的。
Ivan，你的头不能一直往我这边甩。
好，那我重述一次刚才那句话。我认为，
头不要再甩过来啊！
好啦，
我们做个结尾。